What'd you stop me for?
All right, I stopped you because when you drove by me back there, you stuck your middle finger up the whole time you was driving by me. You think I didn't see you?
Yeah, I knew you seen me.
What was that for?
I mean, is it against the law? Is there a law against that?
It is a form of aggressive driving. You know the
No,
Georgia
sir, it's
statute
not.
of aggressive driving is?
No, sir.
So
I can flip you off all I want to.
Okay.
You see that right there?
You're driving a vehicle and you're distracted driving by doing that. Now
Write me a ticket.
And you're calling me a mother for no reason whatsoever.
You stopped me unlawfully. I can flip you off all day long.
Okay.
There it is again.
Like I'm saying to you, like I'm trying to educate you if you give me an opportunity.
You're the one who needs an education, obviously, Sarge.
Hey everybody, it's James Freeman, and today's video is coming to us from what looks like a brand new channel, North Georgia At It. Looks like he's got 603 subscribers now. Let's get him up to the 1,000 mark. Check out this video. North Georgia Audit says in his description, after having some issues with this department, I drove past the corporal and gave him the finger. He didn't like it, so he pulled me over. Here's the full video. Pardon my French. I don't like my rights being trampled on. Also, pardon my gut.
All right.
Report Williamson with the Commerce Police Department. You have your driver's license on you, please?
What'd you stop me for?
All right, I stopped you because when you drove by me back there, you stuck your middle finger up the whole time you was driving by me. You think I didn't see you?
Yeah, I knew you seen me.
What was that for?
I mean, is it against the law? Is there a law against that?
It is a form of aggressive driving. You know the
No,
Georgia
sir, it's
statute
not.
of aggressive driving is?
No, sir. You can't be a complaining party in that.
I can't be a complaining
No,
party
sir,
in
you
aggressive
can't.
driving? Where's
No.
that written in the statute?
You want to get your supervisor out here?
Supervisor, just to let you know. You don't see
Then
the
I'm gonna need
stripes on my
somebody.
shoulder?
No, I didn't see you. Didn't.
This is who you get. So
Okay.
if you want to tell me what the statute is, go ahead and recite me what the statute is.
I don't need to
Tell me
recite
what
the statute. I need to tell you your job.
No, you don't need to.
I can
I'm
flip you off all I want to. You
Okay.
see that right there?
You're driving a vehicle and you're distracted driving by doing that.
I was looking at the road. I can do this all day long, sir.
Okay. So if you want to tell me what
I tell you what, I don't have to give you my ID.
Okay, you do.
I don't have to give you my ID because this is an unlawful stop.
It's not an unlawful
100% unlawful stop. I can flip you off all day long.
All right.
All
Why are
day
you
long.
So mad? Like, what did I do to deserve that from you? Just
All
tell
of
me
y'all
that.
deserve that.
All of us deserve that?
Until I know different. Yep.
Like all of us as long.
I was kidnapped and held for ransom for 2.5 years by cops.
What
Until
did
a
I
jury
do?
of my peers set me free.
Okay, so what did I
Okay?
do
Doesn't
to
matter
deserve
whether you
that?
did or not. I will do this all day long if I want to.
Okay. You're not going to do it while you're
100% right.
driving. I'm just telling
You want to write me a ticket for it?
I can. I don't.
No. Write me. I dare you to write me a ticket. License, insurance, registration's on the back. Write me a ticket, motherfucker.
See, look at the language
Write me
you
a
got
ticket,
right now,
motherfucker. Write me a ticket.
All right,
Write
so
me a
You
ticket.
changed the whole
I'm
thing
waiting.
by calling me a mother.
Can I go in?
You cannot get out of the car.
Okay,
Don't
let's
get out
go.
of the car.
Get this shit over with.
Now
Freedom
you're
of
sitting here
speech. You
talking-
can't be a complaining party in a disorderly conduct.
I can't be a.
You absolutely cannot. I can cuss all day in front of you. There's no kids around. There's nobody else. You cannot be a complaining party in the state of Georgia on a disorderly conduct.
Okay,
Go
nobody
check the
said
law.
anything about disorderly conduct.
Well, you said I changed the stop. Write me a ticket.
You did because now
Write
you're
me a
mad
ticket.
and you're calling me a motherfucker for no reason whatsoever.
You stopped me unlawfully. I can flip you off all day long.
Okay.
There it is again.
Like I'm saying to you, like I'm trying to educate you if you give me an opportunity.
You're the one who
to
needs
do
an
that.
education, obviously, Sarge.
Okay. So, all right, then let me know which part I need to educate on so that I can educate myself.
That anybody can flip you off. This is 100% the First Amendment.
Okay.
As I will sit here and do it with my car running and driving past you as I did. I do it all the time. I do it to state troopers just to see if a motherfucker is going to be stupid enough to stop me for it. So there it is. Write me my fucking ticket and let's get this stop over with. I'm home.
Okay.
I got fries here.
Give me 1 second.
My old
I'll be
lady,
right back
thank
with
you.
Okay?
Write my ticket.
While the corporal is gone, let's talk about some of the most used case law in this, including this name that I'm not even going to try to pronounce, versus City of Fort Smith. The background of the case is that a state trooper was on a traffic stop when this man drove by and yelled, "Fuck you," to the officer. The court ruled that criticisms of police officer, even using foul language, are constitutionally protected, and also stated that flipping an officer off was the equivalent of yelling "fuck you." This case law has now been cited in dozens of other similar cases. Now, I want to bring Cohen v. California into this as well, like I do in so many of my videos, because it is one of the most powerful cases for the First Amendment. I want to point this out because this guy said that he can cuss at the officer and that there's no children or anyone else around.
I can cuss all day in front of you. There's no kids around. There's nobody else. You cannot be a complaining party in the state of Georgia on a disorderly conduct.
But you need to understand that you can cuss at the officer even if there are children around. The biggest argument that the state had in Cohen v. California was that Cohen displayed the word fuck on his sweater and that women and children could see it. The court ruled that free speech doesn't end where sensitive persons' feelings begin, not even if those sensitive people are women and children.
Cohen's conviction rested in large part on the fact that women and children could clearly see the message. In that day and age, the protection of women and children from such vulgarity was considered a valued social interest. But Harlan argued that protection of sensitive persons alone could not overcome Cohen's right to communicate his message, even by use of offensive language. The court expressly rejected the notion that the state of California could justify Cohen's conviction based on the state's duty to protect public morals. The court argued that in a society as diverse and populous as the United States, the free exchange of ideas, even offensively expressed ideas, is a virtue worthy of First Amendment protection. Allowing the state to prohibit the public display of one offensive word would open the floodgates to the state restricting even more language, and inevitably, to the state prohibiting the expression of certain ideas. This, the court said, was what the First Amendment was intended to prevent.
I understand that there are a lot of people out there who do not want words and ideas expressed in front of them and or their children. And that's okay. If you don't want to hear other people's opinions and ideas, then stay home, close your blinds, and turn off all of your media devices. But I can absolutely positively assure you that if you decide you want to live in a society where the government gets to restrict words and ideas, that your words and ideas will be restricted too. And I'm not someone who doesn't understand where people are coming from on this. I have children from ages 15 to 2. But we teach our children that no matter how bad you think a word is, or how bad you think somebody's idea is, that there's nothing more dangerous than believing that it's okay for the government to restrict those people's words and ideas because you don't like them. Do people sometimes say things that you don't like?
Almost every day.
Do you like it when people cuss?
Not especially, no.
Especially in front of you?
I really don't like that.
So what do?
Ignore it, maybe leave.
All right. What about when they cuss in front of your little sisters?
Try to leave.
All right. Do you think that you have the right to put your hands on somebody because they said something that you don't like?
No.
Then do you have the right to ask the police to put their hands on somebody because they said something you don't like?
Absolutely not.
The majority of people that I come across in my daily life don't have the slightest clue what the First Amendment was about, and don't have the slightest clue that it's about protecting unpopular speech. Just because you're in the majority today and your words and ideas are widely accepted doesn't mean that you're not soon going to become the minority whose words and ideas will not be allowed. And that's why it's so important for each and every one of us to stand up for other people's rights, to speak and express themselves, especially in ways that we don't agree with.
All right, sir. So you see I got a couple of people. It's just for our safety, all right? So look, I'm going to do as you said. I'm going to give you the ticket for aggressive driving.
Appreciate you.
I went ahead and got a
Corporal,
case number.
you don't let him write me a ticket for flipping him off?
She's my sergeant.
Sergeant?
Yes.
You don't let him write me a ticket for flipping him off?
Aggressive driving, yeah.
Aggressive driving. Okay.
So that's what I was trying to...
It's not aggressive driving. We'll see it in court.
Would you
I'll
give
see
me a
you in
second
court.
so I can
I
explain it
don't
to you?
need a second. Let me sign the shit
Okay.
and let's
All
go.
right.
Let's
So
get
look,
this
man,
shit over with.
This is going to be my copy. I put an X right here for you. If you just
10-4.
go ahead and sign right there for
Copy
me.
that. 3 of y'all because I flipped somebody off. 3 of y'all for this. 3 of y'all for this. It took 3 of y'all? It took 3 of y'all? I'm not getting myself in trouble. I can stand here all day long and do this. Get the fuck out. Kick rocks. Emerson, kick rocks. You're dismissed. You're dismissed. You're dismissed.
Hey, it's Lieutenant Holly at Commerce Police Department. I had a voicemail from you
Yeah.
about the video.
Yeah, you seen it already?
Yes, I have. I've been looking at this for over 2 weeks now,
Okay.
maybe 3 weeks.
All right. It sounded like your corporal had a great conversation with the sergeant. Unfortunately, for some reason, the recording cut off right there, so I'll try to paraphrase it for you as best I can. While the department now understands that flipping off the police and cussing at them is absolutely protected free speech, they're still stuck on this idea that doing so might constitute aggressive driving. He also expressed to me that out of all the messages he's received in the last few days, the only call he returned is mine because I was the only one who was respectful in my message. I explained to him that the type of people who are calling him are people who have seen this case play out over and over and over and over again, and are starting to realize that no matter how much case law we get on this stuff, you guys continue to abuse us. I tried to explain to him that the general public feels as if we're running out of options because no matter what we do within the system, you continue to abuse us and break the law. I explained to him that it's only natural that you can only push people around and shit on them for so long before they stop acting rationally and start doing irrational things. I explained to him that if this guy loses in court, he either pays a fine or goes to jail for being wrong. But if he wins in court, he doesn't really win because he spends tens of thousands of dollars paying attorneys to get the same outcome that's already been achieved multiple times in higher courts. And the police officer faces zero consequences for being wrong, giving him zero incentive to stop being wrong. You see, when there's no consequences for criminal actions, criminals continue to commit crimes. As long as we continue to see police walk free when they get it wrong, they will continue to intentionally get it wrong. I hear so many people talk about this like it's not a big deal and tell me, hey, if the cops were wrong or the court was wrong, just sue and you'll get paid. But wait a second, them getting it wrong and violating your rights under color of law is quite literally a criminal act. Yes, a criminal act. According to 18 U.S.C. 242, violation of rights under color of law is punishable by up to 10 years in prison, or even death if such a violation results in rape or kidnapping. I'll bet you anything that if law enforcement across the U.S. saw this corporal go to prison for violating someone's rights under color of law, which he did, that scenarios like this would happen a lot less. But we all know that won't happen, so you can expect a lot more people to start acting a lot more irrational to handle things like this. You see, when there's no consequences for criminal actions, criminals continue to commit crimes. And when those criminals are the ones who swore to protect you from criminals, you can expect that eventually your society will fall into total chaos.